The fashion show ended the way many high-profile events do, with flashing cameras, applause echoing through the venue, and headlines already forming in real time. Models took their final walk, designers bowed, and the lights slowly dimmed. To the casual observer, it looked like just another successful night in the world of luxury and global fashion. But for fans who were watching closely, something felt unfinished. Because what happened after the fashion show was not part of the program. It wasn't written into the schedule. And yet, within hours, it became the only thing people could talk about. HYBE made a move no one was expecting. And when the cameras caught Taekook's reaction, the internet didn't just react. It paused, rewound, and watched again. Before we talk about the reaction that shook fans, it's important to understand the atmosphere leading up to that moment. The fashion show itself had already generated massive attention. BTS members appearing at global fashion events is nothing new, but every appearance still carries weight. Their presence alone turns a runway show into a worldwide trending topic. Jungkook and Taeyoung arrived with their usual calm confidence, composed, professional, and effortlessly commanding attention without asking for it. Cameras followed their every step, fans analyzed every outfit detail, and social media lit up with live updates. Everything, at least on the surface, felt familiar. Yet longtime fans noticed subtle details. The unusually quiet demeanor. The moments of focus that lingered a little longer than usual. The way both seemed deeply present, as if aware that this appearance mattered more than it appeared. Still, no one expected what would come next. After the show concluded, fans expected the usual pattern. A few official photos, perhaps a short recap post, maybe behind-the-scenes clips released days later. Instead, HYBE made a move that instantly shifted the narrative. Without fanfare or explanation, content began appearing that felt deliberate. Not loud, not dramatic, but intentional. Fans noticed the timing first. The release didn't come days later. It came when emotions were still raw, when the visuals from the fashion show were still fresh in everyone's mind. Then they noticed the framing, the angles, the pacing, the focus. It wasn't just about fashion anymore. It felt like a message, though no words were spoken. And then came the reaction. A brief moment. Easy to miss if you weren't paying attention, but impossible to ignore once you saw it. Cameras caught Jungkook and Taeyoung in a candid second, not posing, not performing, not aware they were becoming the center of a global conversation. Their expressions changed. Not dramatically, not theatrically, but enough. Enough for fans to pause the video. Enough to zoom in. Enough to replay it again and again. Taeyoung's gaze shifted, thoughtful, grounded, almost heavy with unspoken emotion. Jungkook's reaction was quieter, but no less noticeable, a subtle stillness, a focus that felt deeply internal. There were no exaggerated gestures. No public statements. No visible interaction that crossed any boundary. And yet fans felt it. This wasn't the first time Taekook had been seen together in a public setting. It wasn't even the first time fans analyzed their reactions. So, why did this moment feel so different? Because context matters. This wasn't a concert. This wasn't fan service. This wasn't a playful behind-the-scenes clip. This was a professional, high-stakes environment, where every move is calculated, every appearance carefully managed, which made their natural, unguarded reaction stand out even more. Fans weren't reacting to what they did. They were reacting to what they didn't try to control. Within minutes, clips spread across platforms. Twitter threads analyzed facial expressions frame by frame. TikTok edits slowed the moment down to milliseconds. YouTube comments filled with variations of the same sentiment. Something about this feels different. This wasn't planned. They didn't expect that moment to be seen. Importantly, much of the discussion remained respectful, focused on emotion, energy, and interpretation rather than claims. That's why the moment kept growing instead of fading. It felt authentic. What made fans even more unsettled was what didn't happen next. No immediate clarification. No follow-up explanation. No attempt to redirect attention. HYBE let the moment exist on its own. In the world of global entertainment, silence is rarely accidental. Fans began to wonder, was this intentional storytelling? A shift in how moments are allowed to unfold? Or simply a rare instance where reality slipped through the cracks? Whatever the reason, the lack of correction only fueled conversation. It's important to say this clearly. There was no official statement confirming any speculation, no announcement defining personal meaning, no narrative imposed by the company. What fans responded to was emotion, not confirmation. And that distinction is why this moment remains safe to discuss and endlessly fascinating. Because humans connect to emotion instinctively. We recognize it even when it's subtle. This wasn't shock in the traditional sense. It wasn't loud. It wasn't chaotic. It was quiet. Fans felt shaken because the moment reminded them that behind polished performances and global branding are real people, experiencing real reactions in real time. For longtime armies, that realization hits deeply. They've watched these artists grow, mature, carry increasing responsibility. Seeing a moment of raw reaction, however brief, feels personal. In an industry built on perfection, unscripted moments are rare. That's why they resonate. They remind fans that not everything is manufactured, that sometimes meaning appears without intention. Taekook's reaction didn't break the internet because it was dramatic. It broke the internet because it was human. At its core, this moment represents a shift in how fans engage with content. Less about assumptions, more about observation, less about conclusions, more about feeling. HYBE's move, intentional or not, allowed space for that interpretation. And Taekook's reaction filled that space naturally. Trends fade quickly, but moments rooted in emotion last. As long as fans value authenticity, this moment will be revisited, not as proof of anything, but as a reminder of connection. A reminder that sometimes the most powerful moments are the ones that weren't planned. After the fashion show, HYBE made a move that shifted attention without saying a word. And Taekook's reaction reminded fans why they continue to watch so closely, not for rumors, not for headlines, but for moments that feel real. Because sometimes, one quiet reaction can say more than 1,000 statements. And this was one of those moments. And maybe that's why this moment still lingers. No explanations, no statements, just a brief reaction that felt real. After the lights faded and the noise settled, fans were left with one quiet truth. Sometimes, the smallest moments leave the biggest impact.